From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
3 exciting days of bucking, roping, and thrills are coming to Red Bluff. Over $350,000 is up for grabs for 700 of the toughest cowboys and cowgirls. Friday is Patriot Day, brought to you by Food Max and Outback Contractors. Saturday is Sierra Pacific Industries and Windows and Corning Ford Day with an evening concert by Creed Fisher.
Don't tell me that you understand.
Sunday is Davidson and Haven Family and Dignity Health St. Elizabeth Hospital Tough Enough to Wear Pink Day. Get your tickets now at these locations.
Well, happy Monday morning to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. Let's get you right into it. It's going to be a little active here over the next couple of days. A bit of a mixed bag, really. We've got rain, we've got snow, we've got thunderstorms in there, even some gusty winds, especially around the areas where we do see those thunderstorms. So let's get you into it. We've got the cool and unsettled weather to start this week, especially today and tomorrow. We'll start to see things improve when we're talking drying things out and warming things up later this week. Rain and thunderstorms today and tomorrow. We do have snow levels somewhere between 2,500 and 3,500 feet. They're going to vary. I think our lowest snow levels will be in the overnight and early morning hours. They start to rise a little bit here as we go into the daytime hours. I do expect drier and warmer conditions for the second half of the week. Wednesday's a bit, I think, of that transition day where we go from the cooler and wetter to warmer and drier conditions here. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in your deeper dive. Before we get into that, though, here's your Krueger's Quickcast for just a quick look at your forecast for the day. Let's head out the door here for this morning. Now, it's showing partly cloudy skies and dry in the valley. There could be a stray sprinkle, maybe a light shower, but I think the bulk of any rain for the valley will be later this morning and in the early afternoon hours. Otherwise, showers and thunderstorms and some snow in some of the higher elevations here throughout the morning. And we are seeing some chain requirements out there, which we'll take a closer look at that and where those are. But what we're seeing here is this area of low pressure right here. This is really what's starting to push off to the east. The rotation around that low. See the speckled clouds? That's the cold and unstable air. That's filtering right into Northern California, and that's really what's going to help to destabilize the atmosphere, give us that potential for thunderstorms, give us the lower snow levels, give us the snow in the mountains, and even the scattered showers and some gusty winds with those thunderstorms. Storm Prediction Center has areas shaded in green. Now, there are basically 5 categories, by the way, when you look at the Sphere Weather Outlook. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This really is not part of the categories. What it's just saying is that the potential there, the ingredients are there for thunderstorms to develop, but really nothing all that severe to develop. So we'll have to kind of watch for that potential for both today and tomorrow. But taking a look at futurecasts here through the morning hours, there you can see by midday, there we are. Showers and thunderstorms are making their way in the valley. We've got snow around 2,500, really probably somewhere around 3,000 feet, give or take. I think Mount Shasta City, you're probably seeing a bit of a mix, if not more in the way of rain. Rain for Bernie, but of course rain for Hayfork and Weaverville, lower Shingletown, 3,500 feet, even Shingletown, rain. But places like Chester, Susanville, you're probably seeing some snow, and even Alturas probably seeing some of that snow as well. Then we go into 3 o'clock this afternoon. Still a chance for some isolated showers and thunderstorms even for the valley, but it should start to taper off. You can see things are kind of quieting down a little bit. Then we've got another round, another disturbance coming in from the west later tonight and into tomorrow morning, and that's what's going to bring us another round of rain and snow and even some thunderstorms. You can start to see that coming in by about 10 o'clock tonight. I broad brushed those snow levels again, 2,500 to 3,500 feet, because keep in mind that the lowest snow levels will be in the overnight and early morning hours, and then they rise a little bit here for the midday hours. Where you're seeing these winter storm warnings or winter weather advisories, these are basically through 5 p.m. or 11 p.m. tomorrow. And main concern will be that potential for chain requirements and travel delays as a result. You can take a look at the ski park here, 110 inches for that summit depth. Last 24 hours, about 5 inches of fresh snow. You've got groomed and packed powder out there. Wet on I-5, a little wet and icy on Highway 89, and most likely looking at snow on the Ski Park Highway. All right, so let's take a look at how much snow we can expect to see here as we take you through the next 24 hours. And we could see another couple feet of snow out at the ski park. All right, so here's a look at the chain requirements. I-5 looks all clear, but look at Highway 3 near Wairika. Scott Mountain, most likely seeing some snow up there. Highway 36, there are chain requirements west. Highway 3 between Douglas City and Hayfork, there are chain requirements there. So on Hayfork Mountain, for example. There you can see out on Cedar Pass, on Highway 139. There are plenty of chain requirements east of I-5. So this is just the beginning. And I do anticipate that conditions will most likely improve as we take you. I got a little button happy. Yep, that's what I thought here. Conditions are most likely going to improve as we take you into the midday hours. You see how it just gets a little bit better out there. But then as we go into this afternoon, we start to see conditions get a little bit worse, and especially for tonight and tomorrow. Buckhorn Summit, be on the lookout for that tonight and tomorrow morning. That's also the case for Oregon Mountain and Berry Summit. Highway 36 West looks like we've got chain requirements. I-5 near Mount Shasta, Weed, for example, Highway 89, and plenty of chain requirements east of I-5. So I think conditions actually may be worse late tonight, early tomorrow morning for your travel conditions. So just be aware of that over the next 24 hours. Here's what we have here for today. You see a lot of lightning strikes. It's not going to be just thunderstorms everywhere, folks. I think the best chances will be in the valley, to the west, and even to the north in Siskiyou County. I think slimmer chances off to the east here. But, you know, places like Paradise, some of those lower elevation communities off to the east, say Bernie, for example, you may see a stray thunderstorm. Even Susanville, even Paradise, El Turris, not out of the question this afternoon, but I think it'll be mainly in the form of some of that snow out there. All right, let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for the valley, and you've got the chance for thunderstorms here today and tomorrow. And by the way, with these thunderstorms, you think about what we saw yesterday. You're talking about some heavy downpours, gusty winds, lightning, the potential for hail, maybe even accumulating hail for both today and tomorrow. But then by Wednesday, we're getting a break from that. It's the transition day. I think we'll call it mostly clear, and then temperatures back in the 70s by Friday and through this upcoming weekend. For the coast, inland, and for Trinity County, showers and thunderstorms. We're looking at the chance for showers maybe continuing on Wednesday, especially for the coast. Otherwise, we're dry by the end of the weekend, this upcoming weekend. Snow levels on average around 3,000, 3,500 feet. They go up and down here, especially in those overnight and early morning hours. I'm keeping a chance. Some of the long-range forecast models still indicating that, there may be some isolated activity here for some of the higher elevations here through the day on Wednesday. If we see anything on Wednesday, don't count on it to have much of an impact, but that chance is still out there. And quite honestly, this is something I may be taking out of the forecast here if you watch my evening forecast later on today. But there we see the drier conditions for your Thursday, dry conditions for your Friday through the weekend, and getting warmer too. All right, that's as quick as I can get through your Krueger's Quickcast. Hope you have yourselves a great day. But for those of you who want more, stick around. We've got a lot more to talk about here in our deeper dive forecast as we go into the next few days. Do want to remind you there's a free Weather NorCal app. Just search for Weather NorCal in your app store, and you are good to go, my friends. Here's what we've got. This is the area of low pressure right here. A fairly flat jet stream. We don't have a very pronounced trough of low pressure or even a pronounced ridge of high pressure. So what's happening is you've got this low pressure here spinning, and it's getting, what's getting caught up in the flow is taking some of the colder air and some of the moisture down to the south. The combination of the two, you see the speckled clouds? That's the cold air, cold and unstable air. It's going right into Northern California. So this helps to spark up the chance for thunderstorms really across the board. And that's why the Storm Prediction Center has put all of Northern California in at least that chance for thunderstorms today and tomorrow. But of course, those chances do diminish by the time we get into Wednesday. All right, so let's walk you through the timing of all this. And I mentioned this earlier during Krueger's Quickcast. Broad brushing the snow levels. Snow levels will be the lowest, as I mentioned, in the overnight hours and early morning hours. So that's when you see it lower between around 2,500 feet, give or take. During the daytime hours, closer to 3,500 feet, give or take as well, just depending on exactly where you are. So we go into 10 o'clock this morning. We're already seeing the potential for showers, maybe even a few thunderstorms for parts of the valley, although that's mainly to the north, not as much activity to the south. We're seeing some snow flurries to the east, Siskiyou County, and those showers and thunderstorms for Humboldt, Del Norte County, Trinity County. Snow levels at this point, probably around 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet. Okay, then we go into the midday. Look at that. We're looking at potential for thunderstorms in the valley, some of the higher elevations, especially the foothills. Snow levels around 3,500 feet at this point, give or take. And so I'd say probably more in the way of rain and maybe a bit of a mix out towards Mount Shasta, mainly rain for Bernie, Shingletown, rain for Weaverville and Hayfork too. But look at the coast by midday. and even as we go through the afternoon, you see we're not seeing a lot of activity here. So we're really seeing the bulk of it this morning for the coast, and then it kind of tapers off by the afternoon. And it should start to taper off as we go through the afternoon for the valley as well. But even at 2 o'clock, we're still seeing those showers and thunderstorms in the valley. We're seeing snow in the mountains around 3,500 feet or so. Taking to 4 o'clock this afternoon, still some activity, especially now it looks like to the south. Places like Butte County, maybe seeing the better chances for thunderstorms at this point. Snow flurries in the mountains, heavier off to the east. Once again, things are kind of quieting down a little bit here, a bit of a lull in the activity before the next round begins to move in later this evening and tonight. There you can see it all coming in. This is where we're kind of really seeing it all coming in here, snow. So this is when I think, as we go into tonight, and early tomorrow morning, places like Mount Shasta will see the potential for accumulating snow. Places like Weaverville, Hayfork, it may get low enough for you to maybe see some light accumulation as well. Bernie, I think you may start to see some snow late tonight and tomorrow morning. And we can't forget about El Turris, Susanville, Chester, Shingletown may see some of that snow as well, and down towards Plumas County too. So that's what we've got going on here for tonight. But let's take you into tomorrow morning around 5 a.m. Look at the bulk of the activity. I think most of the activity will be tomorrow morning through the morning hours. Showers, possible thunderstorms in the valley. There's still some of that heavier snowfall off to the north and east. This is early in the morning on Tuesday, so still that potential for snow around Hayfork, Weaverville, Mount Shasta, Bernie, Shingletown, for example. Snow levels lower, and that means worse conditions for travel. And that means I-5, Weed, Mount Shasta, Highway 89, Highway 299 West, Highway 36 West, late tonight, tomorrow morning. Be prepared for the potential for chain requirements. And whenever we have them west of I-5, they're easily going to be east of I-5 as well. But look at this. Even by 8 o'clock in the morning, we're beginning to show signs of things quieting down a bit. We still have the snow in the higher elevations. We still may see a few showers in parts of the valley, but there you can see it really starts to break apart. With that said, when we start to see things begin to break up, that means the clouds are parting. That could be enough for us to see what we call these afternoon convective showers and thunderstorms. What that means is, if you see the breaks in the clouds that you see here, for example, that allows the sun to make it to the surface. That heats the surface. That warmer air rises into the colder air loft that's in place. That destabilizes the atmosphere, and we see showers and thunderstorms popping up. So Futurecast really not picking up on a whole lot of that. Is a little bit, but not necessarily a lot in the valley, but that could be the case here for tomorrow afternoon. But by 6 p.m. Tuesday, just some snow flurries out there. But look at this. By 10 o'clock Tuesday night, we're really starting to dry things out. A little leftover snow flurries, maybe a few showers along the coast here, maybe even an isolated thunderstorm going into Wednesday morning. You see how it's mainly along the coast here. And then we go to midday. You see the clouds are starting to kind of pop up for the higher elevations. This is why I expect to maybe see a snow flurry or two for some of the higher elevations as we go into Wednesday afternoon, not necessarily in the morning, but maybe in the afternoon. All right, so let's take a look at the rainfall estimates. I don't like showing the estimates because just don't look at these and go, this is exactly what you're going to see. If you get caught under a thunderstorm, you're going to see a lot more than 0.04 of an inch of rainfall, Red Bluff. If you see a thunderstorm, you're talking easily 1/4 of an inch of rainfall, maybe even more. So this would be for an example of Redding getting caught under a thunderstorm and potentially seeing about 1/2 of an inch of rainfall. Now we do expect to maybe see a little bit more off to the west here, and with this is mainly going to be, a lot of this could be in the form of some snow in the higher elevations. Now speaking of snow, we do have the winter storm warning and winter weather advisory. Most of these won't expire until either 5 p.m. or 11 o'clock tomorrow. And really the bigger concern is the potential for those chain requirements I was talking about. These are my snowfall estimates. These are on the high end, I would say, for Weaverville, Hayfork, but it's not out of the question for you to maybe see some light accumulation. 4 to 8 inches of snow. I think most of it will fall tonight and early tomorrow morning from Mount Shasta City. 8 inches might be a bit on the high end. That's why I've kind of got it in that 4 to 8 inches here. Off to the east here, Chester could definitely see close to a foot of snow possibly. And you can see down towards Plumas County, seeing some of that snow. Shingletown, you could maybe see a light dusting, as well as Bernie and Fall River Mills. Alturas, yeah, maybe picking up a few inches of snow too. So let's take you into Wednesday afternoon. Now this model, you see how it's showing Wednesday afternoon, the potential for a little bit of light activity? Not out of the question. I think it might be overdoing it though for Thursday, because the system itself is mainly moving off to the east. So look what happens. As we go into Thursday afternoon, you see how we're seeing some more snow flurries possibly, especially in eastern Siskiyou, Modoc, and Lassen counties. At this point, I'm not too terribly concerned about that. If we see a stray snow flurry, not out of the question, but for now, I'm going to keep it dry on Thursday and then dry on Friday through the weekend and going into even early next week. So here's what we've got. High pressure is building in by the end of the week and early next week. That's what these lines here showing, that ridge. Now we've got some activity off to our west here that I've got my eyes on. The European forecast model is a little bit more aggressive with this one, and it looks like it's going to hold on and give us rain. That's the European. The GFS, as you saw there, you see how it's breaking apart before it gets to us on Monday. So I'm going to call it partly cloudy on Monday of next week. We'll kind of watch that potential for maybe some showers early next week, but long range overall, we're going to be looking at drier than normal conditions. All last week, we were in that wetter, it's just kind of that wet pattern last week, but now we're kind of going to be breaking away from that later this week. Taking a look at the lake levels, as we'd expect, especially with all the rain that we have seen, very healthy conditions. 85 to even close to 90% capacity, still over 100% for that historical average. Now, temperature-wise, we're going to be warming up too. You see the warmer than normal conditions in the long range. Taking a look at Reading, for example, there's the upward tick in those temperatures. We're back up into the 70s by the end of this week, this weekend. A little bit of a dip on Monday. That's the potential for showers, by the way. And then we see those temperatures start to kind of creep back up closer to 80 by next Tuesday and Wednesday. Taking a look at your wave heights, looks like they are going to be increasing again here for your Tuesday a bit here. We take a look at your marine forecast here for your Monday. There is a small craft advisory through this afternoon that may be extended into your Tuesday as well, but the wind's fairly strong out of the southwest at about 15 to 20 knots. All right, so let's take a look at our forecast here, and we're going to take you neighborhood by neighborhood. And what we're looking here is for Trinity County. Temperatures mainly in the 40s and 50s for your daytime highs. Showers, thunderstorms, I think tonight, tomorrow morning, Weaverville, Hayfork, you may see some light accumulating snow. Taking a look at the north coast, especially for central and southern Humboldt County, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Possible showers and thunderstorms over the next couple of days. That's also the case for the inland areas. 48 for Orleans, 50 in Hoopa and Willow Creek, and 50 in Smith River. Siskiyou County, I think you're going to see your best potential for that accumulating snow, say around that 3,000 foot level, 3,500 foot level later tonight and tomorrow. Otherwise, you're seeing a bit of that mix, maybe an afternoon thunderstorm today and tomorrow. For Modoc County, I think you could see some snow from places like Alturas here later this afternoon. We could see a stray thunderstorm today as well. Eastern Mountains, 45 degrees for Susanville, 43 in Shingletown, 49 in Paradise. Best chances for thunderstorms, I think, will be in the lower elevations, such as Paradise, such as places like Bernie, lower Shingletown, seeing that potential as well. Manton, for example, you could see a thunderstorm too. Otherwise, we could see that rain-snow mix, and then it looks like we're seeing that potential possibly on Wednesday as well. As I mentioned, if we see anything on Wednesday, don't count on much, quite honestly, if anything. Temperatures in the low 60s for the valley as we take a look at your valley neighborhood forecast, brought to you by Walgamuth Painting. Showers and thunderstorms today and once again tomorrow. I think the chances will be better today. Chances will be a bit slimmer, but still that potential for thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon in Chico, drying out and warming up, especially by the end of the week and this upcoming weekend. We take you up north, 51 for Whiskeytown and Lakehead, 56 for the city of Shasta Lake and Cottonwood, about 58 degrees. And there's your 7-day forecast for Reading. Temperatures in the upper 50s for your Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're back into the low 70s by Friday, mid 70s by Saturday and Sunday. That's your morning update. I'll be back again this afternoon. Have a great morning.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, And the big ones, too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.